protection issues, and that is it. Now, Mr. Calvert.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Am I on this now?
You are.
I have 4 questions. I did submit in advance. In a revised form, I'm new to this idea. First question. Since the Shadow Dorset Council is currently retaining responsibility for some of the public toilets in the area, is there provision in the budget for drastic revision for public toilets in Dorchester and Weymouth and several of our towns? That's the first question.
Would you like to read them all out, and then I think Councillor Ferrari will respond. Thank you.
Second question. Is there provision in the budget to provide effective tourist information centres that are located where people arrive in all the towns in the area and are available when they arrive? Third question, a bit more general. Does the budget include provision for consultants to provide the basis of the Dorset Council local plan for April 2023, rather than use the expertise of the new authority's staff or the vision of the shortly to be elected councillors? Final question. I've only got 4 in the year, so this is number 4. Once the balanced budget is agreed, will the Shadow Authority move on to deal with current pressing issues around social care, mental health, affordable housing, traffic management and bus subsidies?
Thank you very much for those questions. Councillor Ferrari.
Thank you, Mr. Calvert. I'll summarise the question that I'm about to answer, so do. So, number 1 is about public toilets. The toilets in Weymouth and Portland will not be the responsibility of Dorset Council, as they're transferring to either Weymouth Town Council or Portland Town Council. North Dorset Council does not provide public toilets, as where they exist they're provided by the town councils. Elsewhere, provision for toilets as part of the 2019-20 budget proposals are the same as the current financial year. Question B, which is tourist information. The budgets for the tour information centres across the area will remain the same for the 1920 financial year. Going forwards, the new council will review this provision to ensure that the information to visitors is being provided in the most cost-effective way. Question C, the broader question about planning. The Shadow Executive, at its meeting in February, considered a report on resources for preparing the new Dorset Council local plan by April 23. Members recognised the importance of ensuring appropriate staffing levels and referred to the need for a report to the Dorset Council Cabinet in future to consider the cost and resources in more detail. As such, the funding already allocated in the individual district budgets to support the local plan work has been carried forward into the Dorset Council budgets. And the final question about moving on to deal with social care, mental health, affordable housing, traffic management and bus subsidies. One of the key purposes of the council reorganisation was to allow us to spend more money on frontline services, which is exactly what we've done in this budget. We've addressed 5 priority areas for spend. They are an additional 5.8 million for the care and education of children, an additional 900k to increase the number of foster carers, an additional 1.372 million for rubbish collection, recycling and street cleaning services delivered by Dorset Waste Partnership, an additional 1.5 million for social care services for vulnerable, disabled and elderly adults, an additional 150k towards tackling homelessness. There's never enough money to do everything, but this is a solid list of priorities and the new administration will have more money to invest more in these areas and others in the future. We can still move more money to the front line. Bigger, better contracts can be negotiated with fewer suppliers, and rationalising the use of property. Just a couple of examples where we can make available more money in the future, which will allow us to address more of Dorset's priorities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Mr. Calvert, for your question.
One person.
There are no other questions submitted in advance, so that's it. I'm now moving on to agenda item 5, and that is a question from the Shadow Councillors, and I have one from Councillor Susan Jeffries. Susan, would you like to come and read out your question?
Yes. Late last week, all members of the fostering panel received a letter saying, and I quote, "I am writing to inform you that we will be dissolving the current fostering permanence panel on the 31st of March 2019 and constituting a new fostering and permanence panel along with new contracts from 1st of April 2019. In this letter, I am therefore formally giving you notice of the ending of your current term with the panel on the 31st of March. We will shortly be advertising for panel members for the newly constituted panel from the 1st of April, and you are, of course, welcome to apply. Thank you for your work and commitment to the County Council's Fostering and Permanence panel, and I hope that we will see at least some of you on our newly constituted panel for Dorset. I received a number of messages over the weekend from several of them. None had had any forewarning of this and were upset and disturbed. All by myself are independent members. The chairman of the panel, who is a lawyer by training, said that she felt this was a thank you and goodbye letter. I hastily reassured them that this was not my understanding. I hoped that this was more an administrative notice informing them that their contracts would change. These people have worked hard and loyally for Dorset County Council for many years as panel members and are very experienced. On a practical level, it would be impossible to recruit, interview, train and conduct checks to form an entire panel within a month. Without qualified members, all panels would need to be cancelled for at least 8 weeks, upsetting all the scheduling of cases, social workers, potential foster carers and so on, with disastrous consequences and delays. May I say today that they let out the programme of panels until June. All panels are full up until June, so it would be impossible to do them. Today I met with most of the foster panel, and they are still very upset about this letter. My questions are, is my interpretation of the changing contracts more in line with what was intended, or are they really going to disband the panel? If I am correct, why did such a letter, virtually severing their commitments, go out to the members at this time? And can you give me assurance that the action taken by sending out these letters will not be detrimental to or delay the continuity of the fostering panel, particularly for those cases in the pipeline? Thank you.
Could you turn off the microphone? Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Steve Buckley, you're going to respond